Hi there, how's it going? Okay, so what I've done is just moved the tools, the parts I was using into various layers. So I've got the left leg layer, I've got the right leg layer, and I've got the tools layer. Okay, so now I can hide, for example, the left leg by just clicking on the light bulb, and the tools by clicking on the light bulb. Now everything that I create at the moment is going to go into my default, which is just my basic layer. So as long as I don't have that hidden, as long as I don't have that one hidden, I can create things. Now if I go back into layers, layer explorer, okay, so this is my tools one. I want to be creating my default one. There we go. So I'm going to hide tools, and I've clicked on this layer to let it know that this is the active one. And now it works, you see? Now then, we have quite a complicated set of shapes to make here. And by quite complex, I mean really very, very complex. So, might as well start off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a cylinder. Now if I press F4, you can see that we've got 5 height segments, which I don't need. 18 sides, which is considerably less than the 24 I was planning on. And I'm going to rotate this whilst I have angle snap on. Now I can move this up to about here. And I'm keeping it a little bit distant from my actual leg, okay, so that I can see what I'm doing with the leg at the same time. And I'm probably only going to be working on a half because it's a symmetrical shape, so it kind of seems a bit daft not to. Now for actual size, at the minute this is too big. Try that. A little bit better. Okay, and I'm going to convert it to an editable poly. I'm going to call it the pelvis. It's got nice big letters on that as well, which is useful. Now, select my edge, ring it, connect it, and I'm going to take off the right hand side of this. There we go. Okay, now I need to start building the basic shape for this, and it's actually a fairly complicated shape, as I did point out. So what I'm going to do here is look at this shape. Extrude this out. Now let's look at that shape again. Before I extrude this out, actually I need to flatten the top. So for that I need to bring all of this up. Like so. Now I'm going to flatten it. Give us that shape, and then I'm going to bring it up like this. Okay, so it's slightly larger than I need it to be. Now then, I can distribute these polygons along the top if I so wish, or I can do the quite obvious thing, just get rid of them, because I don't really need them, not at the moment anyway. A minute we are making our basic shape. Okay, so control backspace, that gets rid of them all, including the verts. Okay, now this area here and this area here are not particularly smooth, so what I might do is just chamfer those around a bit. There we are, and that smooths it into the shape a bit more. Pardon me. Now, what I need to do here is bring across this bit, so I'm going to extrude it again. So just set my extrude out like that. That gives us that shape. Now, from here, I'm going to create a box And the top of my box is going to be about there. So I'll use auto grid. Just bring it out to there. Okay, and this is just a cookie cutter. That's all this thing's job is. So it's going to cut into that. So right click, convert to editable poly. In order for this to work, I need to make this a curved area. So I'm going to chamfer it. Now I don't want to chamfer it too far, so I think that should be enough. And if you're not used to chamfering, then use the settings, okay? But what I'm doing is basically chamfering it down to half its original size that it was. So chamfer, chamfer. You see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we can smooth that a bit more, maybe make it 14. Let's wait for autosave, which we don't turn off, remember. Autosave is our friend. Okay, so that's a very, very smooth edge. Okay. So now what I can do is bring that in. I'm going to bring it to around about there. Now I'm going to bring it up a bit. Maybe a bit more. Okay, and now I can pull a compound object pro boolean out of this. There we go. Scratch my chin. Oh, lovely. Okay, so now we have this rather nice and much better shape going on here, and I can convert it down to editable polygon. Okay, it's a much more complicated shape, yes, but it's the one that we want. Now, I'm still building the basic shape here, so let's get on with the next part, and the next part basically comes off the back. So I'm going to build a box. And I'm going to be careful on the scale I build it on, because I want to build it about that big, and then bring it back like so, and convert to editable polygon. Now again, these are some mad complex shapes, yeah, so please bear with us and be patient. I'm going to take out that part there. And I'm going to start, I think, as I mean to go on, so I'm going to attach these two together, and then on top of this I'm going to stick a mirror. Sorry, symmetry, not mirror, Jesus. How many years have I used this program? Okay, so just stick on there. This is axis there. Now you can see the axis is off somewhat, so if I just click on symmetry, that'll give me the gizmo. There we are. I'll just bring it in a bit like that. There, and that's the shape that I want. Now I'll go down to editable poly, show end result, and I can start editing again, which is cool. Right, so I'm going to have another look at this object here, and I need to chamfer just here. Nice big shape, and then here, like that. Actually no, before I do that one, this needs to overlap, so I'm going to extrude it. Across like so, then cross like so. That should give us this shape here. Didn't realise I was still on extrude. There we go. So I can do that. And I want to round this piece here. If you remember, we've done this before, it's not difficult. Okay, so that rounds that piece out and down. Now, if I grab these ones, put a smaller piece on there. And the reason we've done that is because we want this kind of overlap here, okay? It's important. Now, underneath where this is, I want to get a bit of a half pipe going in here. So, have a look at the shape that I've got, because I want to actually attach it into this. Look at my shape, because this one's a bit of a complicated shape. I think rather than making it a completely smooth added on piece, what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine it. So if I get a cylinder, just drag it out like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it around 90 degrees and move it into the correct place. Okay, and in and up. Okay, and I want that middle line there to basically attach into that middle line there and through. Okay, and that should be right for what I need. Now I'm going to collapse this, so convert to Editable Polygon, and then I'm going to make a copy of it and call it pelvis 001. Reason being the shape of this. Now if I go over here to a compound object again, pro boolean, start picking, and I'm going to pick, if I just do that, pelvis 001. There we go. Turn off start picking. Okay, and that gives us a much better shape to work from on this. So now what I'm going to do is just isolate this selection here for a moment and take off the inside polygons. And that will give me access to this border. Now with this border I'm going to create a shape. And I've selected my shape, which I can now enable in this viewport. I'm going to drop its sides down dramatically, and I'm going to drop its interpolation down dramatically. There we go, that way it's only the right thickness. Now if I take this, right click, convert to Editable Poly, and attach that, then exit isolation. We now have a weld line attaching it. And I'll stick that on. And let me see, I'm going to insert this. And then once this is inset, I'm going to make sure that that is turned off and that I press Q, so I've only got select rather than select and move on. And this way we get our shape. Wait for autosave. Because most of what we're doing here is just garnering our basic shape. I accidentally deselected stuff, so I did Control Z there, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Okay, looks good. Now I can extrude it, and then just select the middle. Then I'm going to change that to a bevel. Okay, that's good. Come out and round. around. Now at the top here, see where this is? This is going to need to be curved back upon itself. At the minute it is not. Now then, an easy way to do this, well, there is no easy way to do this really. I think I'm just going to have to boolean into it because I don't want this hideous kind of straight surface going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a tube from my standard primitives and just bring this around. 1 and 2 and up. Okay, and I've made it really thick like that for a very good reason, don't worry. Now I just need to adjust the inside radius. There we go. And just get this kind of height sorted out here. And change the height segments. Right click, convert to editable polygon. Grow, grow, grow. Delete, and then Control A and cap those borders. Okay, and this should make us a handy dandy shape. I'm going to drag that down like so. Just monitor my shape again. Might pull it in just a teeny bit more and see how it looks. Okay, now Control V. Actually, no, not Control V. We're just going to go for it, aren't we? Scary. Compound object. A boolean. Okay, that wasn't good. Let's do that again. I'm noticing a minor error here. Let's try just normal boolean. Sort of worked, didn't it? Let's move this back a bit more. It's kind of getting there, although as you can see there are some errors with it. Okay, well, rather than sitting and crying in the rain, why don't we just try and fix these errors. So right click, convert to Editable Poly, isolate selection. Okay, and we can see where the errors are, of which there are many. So let's start with a target world. I want this shape, and I want this shape to work. Okay, that brings those ones together. Front zoom. No, that's straight, that's cool. Okay, I can zoom over here. Now then, let's have a look at this. Just do a weld. Yeah, there's an empty hole there. Let autosave do its thing again. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I'm going about this the wrong way. Let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off everything there. Goodbye. Okay, and that'll leave me this. And that. Now, what I'm going to do is take out these polygons here, here, and here. Okay, now I'm going to cut from there to there. Okay, reason being that with that cut in place, I can now do a bridge. From there to there. And then I'll do a secondary cut from there to there. Do a target weld. Like that. Okay. Then, the minute this border will be all like broken, so I'm going to fix it by taking away parts I don't need. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to put some loops in here, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bridge. Ignore these two because they make a polygon anyway. They have 4 sides. Okay, now let's have a look at this shape. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any loops over this bit, which is a shame. So what I'll have to do here is just bridge these sections. Like that. Then that leaves us these holes here. So I'm going to cap these off, which is very much a lazy person's way of doing it, by the way. I don't want to be here all day filling in holes. And now I can have a look at it, and we can see that there are some areas in here that need considerably more love than others, but apart from that, we're starting to get there. Yeah, that'll do. Right. Now if I look down here at this end, we still have this one in place, so that's good. So I'm going to stick symmetry on this fellow again. And convert to editable polygon. Okay, now what I can do is make myself a cylinder. And I'm going to pull that out to around about that height there. Like so. Just drag it to the right position so it should just overlap this slightly. Put the second one out. To attach both of those to our main piece, and then over here I'm going to make a cylinder, so. And what I want to do here is just adjust the height, just until it basically overlaps like that. Okay, and then if I grab this, and attach that, and what I'm going to do here is select this piece. Just need to move it around a little bit, and take this and this and that and that, and I'm going to take away this part here and flip it, and then I can either grab these borders here and bridge, which creates that shape there like that, or I can just do a single polygon connect. And I normally do it kind of single polygon. Bear with me, I've got a head cold bit, which is why I sound crap. I normally do it this way because it gives us a much straighter edge. Like that. I'll come round. Like that. See? So now we have this hole in the back. So I did tell you it was going to be a fairly complicated shape, to be honest. So if you didn't believe me, it's your own lookout, really. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build off this shape. So I'm going to make a cylinder here. And I have a lot of chamfering to do, by the way. I don't normally use overlap methodology, however for shapes like this, it really is a lifesaver. I'm just making some shapes here that are interesting. Pardon me, blimey, what a sneeze. There. Pardon me. Right. Let what I save do its junk again. Chunk, 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 chunk. Oh, goodness me. You see, I'm less chatty like this when I'm having to think more. So, if you think to yourself, well, he's not talking so much now, he's not entertaining me at all during this educational interlude. The reason is because I'm having to work hard. Okay. Let's have a look at these shapes now, because some of them I do not like. And if I continue to do not like them, then I shall basically pretend like they never happened. Right, let's have a look at these shapes. And on top of this, I've got to have a large rotatey area as well, so we need to be very careful with this. Cylinder, drag it from the top, bring it down like that. Okay. Right click, convert to editable polygon. I do apologise for my snorky nose. Now I'm going to inset it. You may notice I've inset it over this rim. Okay, now for these 6, I'm going to extrude them like that. And then I'm going to grab just these 4, bring them down, just these two and bring them down. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's curving over the front there, which is what I wanted. Now, I'll take that, 1, 2, that one. So I'm just skipping 1, 2, 3, 4 in between these, by the way, if you're going for my incredibly precise method that I tend to use. And then these two at the back here. And I'm going to extrude them by local normal. Bring them down a bit. Click. A bit more, bit more, bit more. There we go. Click tick. Okay. And now, using these, what I can do is get him nice and close. And I'm going to get all the edges, except the ones at the back. Remember, this is still just the basic shape, okay? However, because we don't have the same amount of moving parts as we did in the leg, it's a case that we're having to build bigger shapes. It's more complicated. I did tell you that most of the hard work we'd done was basically over once the legs were finished, and it's true. This is all just making it look pretty, really. This is the bit that balances on the top. Right. Now, split this into equal thirds, then break them in half. Didn't quite get an equal third there. Do it again. And I know that if I get one right, I get them all right. So I'm just using my artist's eye. Do you remember that? Do you have an artist's eye? Yes, you do. So use your artist's eye. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. And what I can do is I can smash some holes through that in a minute or two anyway. Have a look around my model. And swift loop. One there. And one there. Now what I can do, select that edge and that edge. And I'm going to bring them. Control select by Polygon. That gives us those two rims there, which I can then extrude by lag or normal. Just a little bit. Like so. So much nicer when you do it that way though. Now at the back here, just in case you thought I'd forgotten it, I want to straighten this. It's not too late to straighten it, by the way. What I have to do is that. And that. So. Wow, door. That was exciting. Okay, let's straighten up this one as well. You notice how it basically fixes itself, like so. Now at the bottom and the top we have these verts. Okay, so remember the artist's eye thing that I am so eager to tell you about? We'll tell you that you don't need to move it very far. That far will be enough. Right. And as for these edges here, if I go into top view, you can see that I can probably just grab one like that and do that. Again, just using my wee artist's eye. Okay, again. Nice, shapes maintained, got that shape at the back. Okay, that's working out for me. And this means we can connect stuff to this bottom bit as well. Alright then, so with the basic shape, in my opinion, being just about completed, I am going to go and work from this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some nice simple pieces to come out in the middle of this as well. So, bevel. And then through like that. And that'll give me a good idea of where the legs go. Right then. All that's left to do now is to attach this bit here at the top. And I shall see you in the next part. Until then, TTFN. Bye bye.